thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring the Dior Holiday Collection. If you saw the unboxing, you know I picked up this palette by Dior. It's in their Holiday Collection. It's the 359 Cosmic Eyes. So there were two of them. I picked this one up. I also picked up a blush. This is the coral version of the blush. And this one is in the shade 556. And I did some close-ups, some swatches if you want to see these close-up and swatch. And I compared them with a couple of other palettes and another blush as well. And I also picked up this lip shade. So I looked at all of the lip shades they had on this limited edition release, and this is the 674, and this is, let me see, what is it called? The Midnight Rose in the velvet finish. That was probably the best shade for me based on what I could see. And then I also recently picked up this Chanel eyebrow set. So it's a powder and a wax, so we're gonna try that on today. And a few more Dior products, but let's go ahead and get started. If you missed the unboxing video, I also unboxed this. It's the CurrentBODY Skin LED mask. And I've been using it for a few days because this arrived a few days ago. I started using it. I just used it before I did my skincare. And I'm gonna go in now with the CurrentBODY Skin CryoRoller, and it's been in the refrigerator, this device here. And I'm just, oh, it's really cold. I'm just gonna use this to kind of depuff. Really cooling feeling on the face. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. Does a nice job of smoothing the texture of the skin. I have the Dior Forever 3W and the Dior Forever Skin Glow in 3WP. Let's try combining these because I feel like this one was too dark and this one was too light. So I've got the two shades here. Actually, that's a pretty good color match by blending those two together. What time of the year did I get these? Because this may have been the right shade. I can't remember. But right now I know that this is gonna be a little light for me. Again, this is the Dior Forever in 3W. And then we've got the Dior Forever Glow in 3WP. So I combine them and they are different finishes as well. So I kind of got a little bit of a glow there. 8.5 in the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I'm gonna go under the eye. Take on the dark spots as well. And around the nose. Between those two foundations, I really don't need that much concealer today, but let me just finish this up. After the concealer, I went in with Chantecaille's Perfect Blur Powder and the Buff and Blur brush. Love those together. I also went in with bronzer. I used the Elephant palette by Hourglass. This shade right here. Use that as my bronzer. And oh yeah, I put a little bit of the same concealer, Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer in shade 8, just right here, strategically placed. We'll see if I need La Prairie, but I think we're okay for now. I did want to show you the Chanel eyebrow product that I recently hauled. I've actually been using all of these little implements that come in here. So I use this little sponge to apply first, and I realized applying it first here is gonna deposit way too much product. So I like to start closer to the arch like that. And I hold it like this. It kind of helps me figure out how wide I want the brow, or like up and down that distance. And then I just use the excess like this towards the front. So it's much more gentle in terms of the color right here towards front, or else it will deposit way too much. And what I like about this is that it's not shiny. And no, I don't get that same natural brow look in that I am adding hairs here. I'm still working with that Anastasia brow because it's very dark. So you can see every little hair that I draw on there, and sometimes it's too much, so still working on that one. But I do love this for a very fast brow. I think you saw how fast that was. So I went in with, everything's gonna fall out here. I went in with this deepest shade here. It's the powder shade. And now I'm going to take the lighter shade, which is warmer. So the cooler shade is the powder, and then this is the lighter shade. It's got a little bit more warmth. I'm gonna take this angled brush. This is not the strongest wax per se, but it does do a nice job of gently holding things in place, and there's nothing crunchy about this. It's a very soft hold. So if you want a soft brow, I think this is really soft. I'm actually curious about the lighter shades as well, because I'm thinking the medium shade would be nice. This is dark, and it's the color of my hair, but it just is darker than what I'm used to on my brows. And I'm using the spoolie. Okay, so if you don't want to mess with gels or pencils, you can use this product. It's really fast. I'm just gonna even these out now. Going in now with the Dior palette. This is in the shade 359 Cosmic Eyes. And when I swatched this, it looked beautiful. Every shade but this one right here swatched so beautifully, evenly. Beautiful shades. Now I'm gonna go in with, let's see, not quite sure how dark these are gonna be on my eyes, so let's go in with this first. Or this. Okay, let's go in with this first, just so we can see what that looks like. Yeah, really pretty shade. This is like a buff shade. And then let's go in with this just to see what that looks like. I'm just gonna flip the brush over here. Oh, pretty. It's a lovely golden shade. Now, this does remind me of the Bouquet palette so far, just because it's light, softer shades. Pretty. Okay, let's go in with this. Let's try this in the crease. Ooh, a lot on the brush right away. It does have more of a khaki tone now that it's on. Okay, so there's some slight dimension. Let's go in with this shade right here. So far I've used 1, 2, 3 shades. Let's go in with this shade right here. I think this might be my favorite shade in here. And so far everything is applying really well, very even. Yeah, it's performing very much like the swatch. If you missed this swatching video, I swatched this against the Mediterranean palette because I wanted to see if there was similarity there. There really wasn't, but you can take a look. Okay, let's go ahead and take this shade right here. And I'm just going to use my clean hands and apply it. It's a really pretty shade though. I don't know if you can see right there. Really pretty. And I'm going to take this shade right underneath. Pretty, oh, I forgot to catch up on this side. Really easy palette to use so far though. This one blends really easily for especially a deeper shade. Clean brush here. Okay, let's use this Chantecaille eyeliner brush. I'm going to take that deepest shade and see if we can use it as a liner. I know it's got shimmer in it, but I really feel like I would just use it for a liner. I'm going to go into this shade right here and just use it as an eyeliner on the bottom. So I'm gonna go in and tight line, probably with a black liner, add mascara, let's see where we are, and then we'll do the blush and the lip. I went in with the Tower 28 mascara, which I've been really impressed with, as well as this ESUM pencil. So it's black on one side and then platinum on the other. So I use this platinum shade in the waterline, which goes really well with this palette. And then I just took a little bit of this shade. I'll show you where I placed it. And I just added just a little bit here, just to kind of connect this to the rest of the eye. Just a really light application of that, because I feel like it just kind of stopped. Let's go in with the blush. So this is the 556 Rouge blush. It's the coral version. Now the other shade, when I looked at the pictures, I could see particles of shimmer, so that's why I skipped on it. So I picked this coral one up though, because I didn't see that, and I didn't see that on the swatch. Now this swatch was not the most even swatch, but let's see what this looks like on. I also had a question about this one, so thank you for asking for swatches pretty early on, because it is within hours that I'm filming this video from the time I post the unboxing. So I had a question about the Gucci blush. So Gucci is pinker compared to this one, so that's very corally. Let's see how this goes. Let's use this number 5 brush, get it on there, and let's see how this applies. Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't see particles when I swatched it, but now, unless it's coming from somewhere else, let's see. It's so interesting. I'm seeing a couple of random detectable particles. There's a lovely glow to this blush though. It's really pretty. So I'm just trying to determine if it came from somewhere else or if it's embedded here. I'm just not seeing it. But I don't know if you can see, the glow is beautiful. More glowy than the formula for the Gucci blush. It's actually more glowy than it appears in the pan. I'm gonna add a lot more just so you can see it. Yeah, there's almost like a highlighter quality to this blush. Like a really gentle highlighter element to it. I'm not seeing so many of those particles. I wonder if it came from the eyeshadow. Let me just put a flashlight on this really fast, because that'll really tell me what's in here. There may be some particles embedded in here that aren't apparent immediately. Yeah, this is how I'm looking at it, like this with a flashlight. So that's how I'm seeing what's really in there. And I do see some things catching the light. So I'm gonna say I can't promise there are no particles in here. But I can see that if you have texture, this has the potential to bring out texture if you add a lot on, just because it has that glow to it. Just like usually any glowy kind of product will have the potential to add some kind of emphasis of texture, especially if you go in with too much. So if you want this glow but just want a gentle kind of glow, then I would go a little bit light-handed on this one. It's a pretty shade though. And let me just swatch this really fast for you. So this is the Dior blush, and here's the Gucci blush. Dior Gucci. And the Gucci formula is more even going on than the Dior. Yeah, I'm still seeing that. It's not patchiness, but it kind of is sitting on the skin. I don't know, it's really hard to show, but it's just not as even as something like the Gucci blush on swatch. I'll talk about my overall perceptions of the blush once it settles in a little bit, but let's go in with the lipstick. And I feel like I didn't show this all the way, and I just showed the front. Let me show you the back, see if it picks up. There's the back side of the lipstick. It's really pretty. And I think I mentioned that this shade is pinker than other rosewood shades I've picked up. Yeah, it definitely has like a coolness to it. This is in the shade 674, Midnight Rose. Okay, let's go ahead with this Miss Dior. I got this cute little sample in the order that I ordered from Dior, and I haven't tried it before. It's a pretty generous sample, and I love the bottle. It's so sweet. It's got fresh lily of the valley notes and apricot tinged peony accord and powdery iris notes. It's thus built around an elegant, striking bouquet like a mille fiori that seems to carry countless flowers in endless colors. At the base, slight notes of tender wood envelop the composition. And you definitely have to let this one settle in a bit because it's almost sweet when I first applied it, but now it's mellowed out even in that short amount of time. And I can smell that fresh lily of the valley. And I really like that gardeny scent when it comes to floral fragrances. That keeps it away from being too sweet and too heavy. And I really like that it's got these wood notes at the base. I didn't know what to expect with that, but it's really pretty. I thought it would be too much floral, but it's not. It's definitely floral though, but it's got that freshness to it, so it keeps it again from being too much. Okay, quick rundown of the products. Let's talk about the palette first. I really liked it. I feel like it's neutral, which I love, but it still has something special about it in the combination of the shades they put in the palette, because I feel like I don't have any palettes that look like this one, and I really like this gray shade in here. This one, I think that's really beautiful. And then this one is beautiful as well. It looks more khaki once I put it on, because I know I said it didn't look khaki in the swatch, but it does look more khaki here. And I think it's in combination with this other shade, the more golden shade. So they worked beautifully together, really easy to use, blended beautifully, even that dark gray shade. Now this deepest shade here, that I just use as an eyeliner because I really just like the contrast. It's very soft with the gray, so I didn't think I needed any more than that. So I can vouch for the creamier shades here, but just sticking to the eyeliner with that, I think worked fine. I know there's some sparkle in there, which I'm sure you could see if you applied it all over your eye, but maybe I'll try that once, but this is really how I would wear it. I think it's beautiful, lovely for the holidays. It's got a satiny sheen to it, and it's a little more elevated than just a regular satin. It's got a little bit more glow to it. So I think in that way it's holiday, but it's still very neutral and something I would wear beyond the holidays. Lovely palette, I really liked it. Oh, I did want to say also that it is kind of like what people probably wanted this palette to be able to do. This is the Golden Bouquet, but really this one is only tied together once you get that deepest shade on there, whereas this one, you have this shade as well to kind of do something more interesting with. It's in between the medium shade and the deepest shade, so I think that's the main difference there. It's a little bit easier to use. I think you don't have to be as light-handed with it as you do with this in terms of that deep shade. So this is the Golden Bouquet. So if you really wanted to love the Golden Bouquet, but weren't sure how to figure it out, you might want to go for this one from the holiday collection because it's a lot easier to use. Then the blush, I'm on the fence about the blush because looking at it here, it doesn't look, I don't know, it doesn't look as skin enhancing, but then when I went to the bathroom to curl my hair, the lighting in the bathroom made it look really pretty. It looks really soft and like a soft focused almost, soft focus. But here, I feel like it doesn't have that appearance to it. It's much more glowy here than soft focus. So yeah, on the fence about this because if it's not going to look wonderful in every light, that's not something I would say, yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I really want to love this blush because it's a beautiful coral tone, which I really enjoy. It's got a glow to it, but there's something in here that's making me like, this would not be the first blush I would pull for. Let me see how it goes over the next few tries, and then I will come back. It'll be in a favorite if it becomes a favorite, but right now it's nothing I'm super impressed with right away. Could change my mind though. Like I said, in the bathroom it looked beautiful, but here it's not looking that amazing. And then the lip. The formula is lovely. I really like it. It's comfortable, it's hydrating, even though it's a velvet. But the shade, it looks like a summer shade on me. It doesn't look like a holiday shade. It looks, yeah, I guess I should have picked a red because that will always look like a holiday shade on me. But I feel like it goes better with something like this. This is the 1947 Miss Dior palette. I feel like these would have gone really well together. If you like this shade, it's really pretty. It just, I don't know. It looks okay. It's not my favorite shade on me though, but I'm glad I tried this because it was the only one that stuck out to me as something that I would be interested in, and the other ones did not interest me. So yeah, I think you have to really like the color to pick that up, but the formula itself is very, very nice. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.